Hi, good evening. My name is Sarah Sink. I am your child's world history teacher, and I wanted to go over some of the things that we talked about in parent night or back to school night tonight, but also maybe some things that you might be concerned about or curious about. So, a couple extra things that we went over, and if you were not at the Zoom call tonight, that's fine. You'll get all the information today. So, in my class, each day, the students are going to be expected to come into Zoom. And I suggest, if you haven't already done it, to make them a schedule. So, advisory every day, there's a Zoom call. And then for attendance each day, there is a Zoom call. And then I will send the students off to work. And then I'm giving them an option, especially while they're new at this team, and just to introduce themselves to other kids, I'm giving them the option to work with other students. Eventually, they'll be in breakout rooms and expected to do this, but a lot of kids are having some anxiety just being back and being on camera and things like that. So please encourage your students to do that, because otherwise I won't be able to learn who they are or put a face to a name, things like that. So I know some of our students aren't capable of doing that right now, and that's okay. But if they would like to have some more one-on-one time with me, there's a couple times to do that. On Wednesday, in the middle of the day, from 10:30 to 11:45, I'm available. And in the afternoon from 2 to 3, there is a help form to fill out. And that help form will allow students to get that one-on-one attention and answer any questions. So world history is the Middle Ages for 7th grade. We'll be starting off with geography and going into the Roman Empire. And the pace is pretty fast. It's about 3 weeks for each civilization. This is what the textbook looks like. And they have the TCI online version. The school district was generous enough, and TCI was generous enough to let us do another pilot this year. And then our school district also got workbooks for everybody. So you will have this be picked up in the near future. And then I'm also working together with our school administration to have some poster paper, because one of the big feedback things that the kids told me last year was that they really miss doing some of my hands-on projects that I like to do. And once we were at home, it was a little more difficult to do that, because I can't expect everybody to have art supplies. So I'm going to try to push out some poster paper for every family. And if you can hold on to that for specific assignments. On Wednesdays is going to be my due date for everything. So if your student is working on an assignment, more than likely it's going to be due the next Wednesday. So for this week, yesterday, they had an assignment due that were note cards, and I call that like the entree. That means that every student is expected to do that, but I will always provide some extra things for them to learn, and it's really their responsibility to take up that time. So if your student needs to take the whole 75 minutes to do the main assignment and get credit for it, that's fine. But if your student whizzes through and is done within 20 minutes, then really encourage them to expand themselves. And I say it's like having an appetizer or a salad or dessert. So a couple of things also is I'm going to be pushing out Newsella articles. We're going to be using a program called Flowcabulary, which talks about vocabulary, and it's also kind of fun because it's like a rap. There is going to be some videos for them to watch. So if you have not familiarized yourself with my agenda, this is what it looks like. So this is your agenda, but today this is what the kids looked at. And so it's really important to give them that opportunity. Right now, I'm still putting up the schedule, and the students are able to take attendance. Today they did Geo lesson number 1, and then right here is the due date. The syllabus is right here. My email contact is here. And then videos that I would like them to watch if they haven't done so, or we will probably watch them in class. But sometimes kids like to watch things a second time to really understand it. So I will post those for your students. There were some concerns from some parents during our meeting tonight about YouTube. Please reach out to me. But YouTube is a great resource for me to be able to show short snippets of videos. And I'm sorry if you're having a hard time monitoring that at home. So we'll have to negotiate something, but just know that I have lots and lots of content, and that's the only way I'm going to be able to press it out. Number one, I'll be creating videos on YouTube for them to be able to access, and also historical videos that we need to be able to see. So let's talk about that if you have any other questions. Couple other things I'll be doing is a passion project. I really want to encourage kids to get excited about their learning and excited about the passion of going through and really researching something thoroughly, because a lot of us think that we really like something, and then once we get into it, we're like, oh wow, that's more of like a hobby, or maybe every once in a while I want to do that. But a true passion is something that you can do for life. And I want to teach that to your students. So please make sure your students aren't getting stressed out. I want them to be feeling really good about things. At any point, if they don't understand something, please encourage them to utilize these extra Zoom times. We can have some one-on-one time. Also, if you are having problems, there's a few things I'd like you to encourage your kids when they do an email. So right here, number one, make sure the student states their name in their email and what period they're in. It really helps for me to give them a quick response. Also, a detailed question. So not just saying, oh, Miss Sink, I don't understand. What don't you understand? Give me a specific question that you want me to be able to answer. And then if they have a phone number at home that I can call them, or wherever they're working at, if they're working with you at work, or if they're at Grandma and Grandpa's, because I can call from my cell phone. It will look like it's Dartmouth Middle School. We use an app called 8x8. But then I can get a quick response over to your student, and they don't have to sit there for a whole day until I can respond to an email, or they haven't had an opportunity to check with friends. So thank you very much for coming tonight. If you weren't able to come, I'm glad you're able to see the video, and I'm excited to be your student's teacher this year. Take care. Bye-bye.